Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour et bienvenue sur Foryou Midi. Comme toujours, installez-vous confortablement devant votre média panafricain. Nous honorons à la coutume en commençant par l'actualité en langue anglaise. C'est avec Vundix. Good day.
Bon après-midi, Lundu. Bon après-midi, the audience of Foryou Midi Africa. To kickstart the first segment of this bilingual news, we start in the Democratic Republic of Congo with relations to the ongoing crisis, where 3 new facilitators have been appointed to mediate the ongoing conflict in the Democratic Republic of Congo. It was revealed via a communique released following a virtual joint summit of heads of state from the East African Community and the Southern African Development Community SADC on Monday, as you tell us, Buka, in this report.
Following Angola's withdrawal from its mediation role in the conflict in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, a joint summit of heads of state from the East African Community, EAC, and the Southern African Development Community, SADC, named on Monday more facilitators to resolve the conflicts. According to the communique released following the virtual meeting, it was revealed that former heads of state from different African countries, including Kalema of South Africa, Catherine Samba Panza of Central African Republic, and Saliwok Ziode of Ethiopia, will work alongside Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya and Olusegun Obasanjo of Nigeria, who were previously appointed as facilitators to resolve the conflict. The communique disclosed that it was agreed upon by the joint meeting following consideration on gender, region and language inclusivity. It's worthy of note that the meeting adopted a roadmap developed last week by military chiefs from 2 blocs detailing immediate, medium and long-term measures to attain sustainable peace and security in a minerals-rich country. The meeting, co-chaired by President William Ruto of Kenya and Emmerson Mnangagwa of Zimbabwe in their capacities as chairperson of their respective blocs, comes at a time when the security situation in Eastern DR Congo remains alarming, with M23 controlling several key areas, including around Goma and Bukavu. Last week on Monday, the rebels withdrew from earlier scheduled peace talks with the Congolese government in Angola's capital, Luanda, on March 18, citing interference by Western countries. The leadership of DR Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, and Paul Kagame of Rwanda met in Qatar and agreed for an immediate ceasefire, a move many on social media criticized the choice of a non-African mediator for the conflict. However, on Monday, Kinshasa made public it will begin consultations to form a national unity government. All eyes and ears stays on the mediation initiatives, optimistic for a renewed era of peace and stability in the war-torn country.
Away from peace initiative, we now talk diplomatic tensions, where South Sudan and Chad have condemned threats by top Sudanese general, a warning of regional escalation. Indeed, Sudan's General Yassi Olata labeled Chad's airports as military targets and accused South Sudan of harboring traitors. Both countries rejected the remarks, with Chad calling them a declaration of war and vowing to a firm response. The tensions come amidst Sudan's accusations that the United Arab Emirates is supplying drones to the paramilitary rapid support forces following the nearly 2-year conflict plaguing the African nation.
South Sudan and Chad have strongly condemned threats made by a top Sudanese general, warning of potential regional escalation. In a Sunday speech, Sudanese Assistant Deputy Commander-in-Chief General Yassi Olata declared Chad's airport in N'Djamena and Amjaras as legitimate military targets and accused South Sudan of sheltering traitors. Juba denounced the remarks on Monday as a blatant violation of international law, reaffirming its commitment to peace while warning it would defend its sovereignty. Chad, in a similar statement on Sunday, called Atta's comments a declaration of war and vowed a firm and proportionate response to any attack. The remarks come as Sudan accuses the United Arab Emirates of supplying drones to the paramilitary rapid support forces its rival in the nearly 2-year war. Sudan claims some of these operations were launched from Chad. The UAE denies the allegations, but the United Nations experts and US lawmakers have found them credible. Khartoum has taken the issue to the UN Security Council and the International Court of Justice, accusing the United Arab Emirates of complicity in genocide against the Masalit ethnic group in Darfur. The war between Sudan's army and the RSF, which began on April 15, 2023, has displaced millions and strained relations with neighboring states. This sparked Chad and South Sudan's mediation efforts. Sudanese military leaders have increasingly accused them of aiding the rapid support forces.
We now proceed and take this other information, a big win for the African continent. So, on a bid to deepen diplomatic relations, Ghana and Morocco have agreed to scrap visa requirements for all travelers between the two countries. The two nations as well said yes to expanding cooperation in agribusiness, tourism as well as security. Ghana's Foreign Minister Samuel Okwezeto Abluakwa had made public the deal be submitted to both parliaments for ratification in the coming weeks as earlier on stipulated. Well, as part of deepening relations, Morocco has well doubled its annual scholarships for Ghanaian students, increasing the number from 90 to 180. Down the African continent now to Zambia, the African country Copper Belt Energy Corporation CSC is set to invest $500 million over the next 2 years to boost solar power capacity and upgrade its key transmission line to the Democratic Republic of Congo. The move comes as investor confidence in Zambia's energy sector rebounds following the country's recovery from a sovereign debt default as well as a devastating drought. Here is the rest of that story.
Zambia's Copperbelt Energy Corporation CSC plans to invest $500 million over the next 2 years to expand its solar power capacity and double the transmission line capacity to the Democratic Republic of Congo. CSC, which operates the solar power transmission link between Congo and the Southern African Power Pool, aims to secure financing from third-party investors. Chief Financial Officer Mutale Mukuka emphasized the company's commitment to infrastructure investment, particularly in transmission projects, to ensure efficient power delivery. Interest in Zambia's energy sector has grown following the country's recovery from a 4-year sovereign debt default and an El Niño-induced drought that severely impacted power generation. CSC's expansion will increase transmission in the Southern African country's capacity between Zambia and Congo from 250 megawatts to 550 megawatts, reinforcing regional energy stability.
Regarding Africa's fight against tuberculosis, Agenda 2063 requires strong political will, increase domestic financing and the integration of TB services into broader national health and social protection frameworks, accentuated the African Union Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development, Ambassador Ama Tamum Amua. She made the remarks on Monday in her official statement on the World Tuberculosis Day.
As people around the globe gathered to celebrate World Tuberculosis Day on Monday, the African Union Commissioner for Health, Humanitarian Affairs and Social Development at the African Union Commission, Ambassador Ama Tamum Amua, asserted that Agenda 2063 requires strong political will, increased domestic financing, and the integration of TB services into broader national health and social protection frameworks in a bid to achieve Africa's vision for a self-reliant and prosperous continent. She reaffirmed the continental body's commitment to ending tuberculosis in Africa and ensuring that combating the preventable and curable disease remains a continental priority jointly by the AU member states and partners globally. The World Tuberculosis Day was marked under the theme, "Yes, we can find TB, commit, invest and deliver, serving as a call to action for both leadership, sustained investments and concrete actions to eliminate TB, particularly among the most vulnerable populations. The AU Commissioner further stressed the importance of strengthening collaborations with civil society, traditional leaders and the media to ensure that TB messages reach the most remote communities, noting that the 2025 AU theme of the year on reparations serves as a reminder that reparative justice is essential in addressing the structural inequities that perpetuate the disease burden in Africa. She said, and I quote, "The fight against TB is a collective responsibility, and as we observe World TB Day, let this be a moment of a call to action for renewed commitment, increased investment, and the tangible delivery of TB services that prioritizes the most vulnerable." End of quote.
To conclude this first segment, still on the African continent, while on the continent of Africa, the right regulations are needed for artificial intelligence use